Colorado Avalanche hockey on Altitude is brought to you by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. CenturyLink, a trusted technology partner, frees you to focus on what matters. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Shortline Subaru. Save money, drive better. Avalanche on the road again, and tonight finds them in Winnipeg, Manitoba, to face the Winnipeg Jets for the second time this season. Let's look at the Forge starting lineup, and let's tell you about the starting goaltenders for tonight's game.
Well, Varlamov versus Pavlik in tonight's contest, like a couple of big goaltenders that are very athletic and can absolutely steal a game. And tonight is the night that both teams need good goaltending. For the Avalanche, Mike, they're not scoring, and it's no secret the pressure is starting to build a little bit as far as 14 goals the last 8 games for the Avalanche. On the other side of it for Winnipeg, Mike, they have not won their last 4 home games. And this is a crowd here in Winnipeg that didn't have NHL hockey for 15 years after the team moved to Phoenix. This is the 3rd year back. How long is that honeymoon of 500 hockey and just having NHL hockey going to last for this crowd?
Well, Peter, if you bought a season ticket in the lower bowl, you signed up for 5 years,
yeah.
But the top bowl, 3 years.
So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, because right now Winnipeg exactly at 500.
Here's a tip in front of the net, and the puck comes back towards the near sideboards, down into the corner as you look at the rest of the Ford lineup for the Avalanche and the line combinations. Defensive pairings coming in a moment. Bouncing puck, shot right into the crease and scored by Winnipeg. That didn't take long for the Jets to get the first goal of the game. There's a lot happening around the front of the net. In the first 30 seconds of the game, the Jets lead at 1-0.
I was really interested to see the starting lineup for the Winnipeg Jets. They had Little in the middle, and Ladd and Wheeler on the wall, like on the wings, and they're big guys. And what they did is they just crashed the front of the net. You get a little bit lucky as it seemed to bounce off defenseman Johnson's foot right in front. But the idea is bodies down low. I think we're going to see that as a game plan for the Winnipeg Jets in tonight's game.
See Patrick Waugh looking up at the replay on the scoreboard, and the referee, Tim Peel, has come over to Patrick Waugh to talk to him.
Well, I think Patrick Waugh called one of his players over. Now, I'm not sure why.
You want to know if Little kicked that in?
Yeah, but it went off, clearly went off Johnson's skate.
The goal stands, so it's 1-0 in favor of Winnipeg. Now back for the puck, Benoit. They move it around the boards to the near side. Parenteau pushes it out to center ice for Stastny. And here's the scoring summary. Blake Wheeler, 8th goal of the season, 24 seconds after the start of the game. Toby Enstrom and Brian Little getting the assists. And for Little, that's his 16th assist and team-leading 29th point of the season. The puck comes back into the Colorado zone. Barry after it. They skate up ice through the face-off circle. Pass up ice for McGinn. Gives to Stastny. Sent over the line. It got tipped. Into the corner and then sent around back behind the net. Kicked that by McGinn of the Avalanche. Worked free. Jets have the puck. And a hit in the corner frees up the puck for a moment. Poked at by Mitchell of the Avalanche. Sent off the boards by the Jets. Can't get it out of the zone. Winnipeg with possession. Scheifele will duck back behind the net and went off a Colorado skate of Nathan MacKinnon and right to the side of the net.
Michael, you almost hate to bring up this statistic because you wonder, have the Avalanche started to get it in their mind that when they score the first goal, we're one team, when we get scored on, we're another. This is a club, the Avalanche, now they have to come back, obviously, in this game and get that next goal. But around the league, it's a gigantic number where the team that scores that first goal ends up winning the game.
Winnipeg has possession after the face-off. Avalanche trying to put some pressure on and keep the puck in the Winnipeg zone. Jets to come out early, get a goal. 24 seconds into the contest, bouncing puck in front of the net. Bordeleau turns and shoots. He scored the only goal of the night for the Avalanche in that 3-1 loss to Phoenix, getting his 4th goal of the season. Jets moving the puck into the Colorado zone. Slapped across by Albert. He'll backhand it around and behind the net. Anthony Peluso for the Jets. Trying to work the puck free. He does so into the corner. It's going to be a penalty on the Avalanche. Pavelec has gone to the bench for an extra skater. Erik Johnson touches the puck. But a penalty coming up, and so the Jets, who lead this game 1-0, will have the first power play chance of the game.
Well, the Winnipeg Jets have come out here early, Mike, and you see on the goal, they had lots of bodies down low. Drawing this penalty, they have lots of bodies down low again, forcing the defenseman to get caught with the stick through the midsection, and off goes Johnson. And Mike, gigantic part of this game. The crowd on that goal really into it now. They're always into it, but they're a little extra bite right now, and Winnipeg desperate to win a game at home.
So the penalty on Erik Johnson, and the Avalanche shorthanded with the Jets on the power play. In the first meeting of the year, in which the Avalanche came back to win the game with a couple of third-period goals, the Jets were 0 for 5 that night on the power play against Colorado. And overall ranked 28th in the league this season. Shot and off a block. Was sitting right there. The Avs tried to clear it and get out of the zone. It kept in by the Jets. Rolled back behind the net. Winnipeg moving it back to the point. Byfuglien, he's got the big shot, but sends it across for the one-timer, and Varlamov makes sure that time there was no rebound as he holds the puck.
Well, the Avalanche, we talked about the offensive woes, no goals, I mean, not scoring the way they want the last 8 games. Winnipeg, you look at their power play, Mike, what's interesting is both of those numbers reflect each of the club's last 8 games. So that's 8 games for Colorado, 8 games for Winnipeg. Winnipeg finally scored a power play goal last game against St. Louis.
To the point. Kept in. Klitzum into the circle. Shot off of Varlamov. The rebound comes free. And pushed up ice now. It's a race. And the goaltender Pavelec has to come out, and he shoots the puck into the crowd, but it was tipped.
Again, you know, like, we haven't seen Winnipeg play that often. We saw them a couple times 2 years ago, and surprisingly, and just because of the transfer move and whatever, we did not see them at all last season in the 48-game schedule. Saw them once in Colorado. Impressive club with their size, especially the wingers.
Dumped in. Pavelec will settle the puck down. And Grant Klitzum, Winnipeg's defenseman, carries the puck to center ice. To the red line. Lifted in with a backhand. Varlamov out of the net. It's handled and sent around the boards, and then there's a hit.
No, Mikey went out.
Leach got hit along the boards, but that puck went out of play. Is that going to be a penalty?
Yeah.
It looks like that is indeed going to be the case.
It just, Mike, it couldn't have snuck over by a smaller margin. You see what happens there, Mike? Boy, when things just aren't going your way, it's the puck's rolling. The puck's rolling, so when Gennon hits it, Mike, it just pops up and over the glass.
This penalty comes at 3:49. There's 36 seconds remaining in the Johnson penalty as Nate Gennon goes into the box. So a couple of players who would be out there, you would think on penalty killing quite a bit, are both in the penalty box. And
you look at the situation, Jan Hayden would be has killed most of the penalties this season, except when he's been injured, of course, with Nate Gennon, and now he's injured. So the Avalanche relying on some different people in just a huge moment in this game.
36 seconds. Crossover in the penalty with Johnson and Gennon.
I think what they want is, it might not seem like much, but from where the penalty boxes are, it's about 5 seconds to get involved in the play. So it's 38 seconds, so that means it's a 40-plus second 5-on-3 for the Winnipeg Jets.
And on the face-off, Winnipeg is able to handle the puck. Nick Holden, Corey Sarch, and Max Talbot, the 3 out for the Avs. Byfuglien with a big drive, and it bounced out in front and then cleared away. Jets have got it. Back to the point. Well, he can set up Byfuglien, that big shot. He's back between the 2 circles, now going down low. The pass hit a skate. Bounces free for Blake Wheeler. Coming down the middle. He shoots, and a block by Talbot. And the puck ricochets out to center. 5 seconds left in the Johnson penalty. Long pass ahead for Wheeler. He cuts the front of the net. He's in, and a save by Varlamov. Back to the point, but the Avalanche player without a stick. Johnson has come onto the ice, so Starch does not have a stick. Shot by Wheeler goes wide. Byfuglien fires, and that's blocked at the post by Varlamov. Flipped it around, not out of the zone. Byfuglien kept it in play, but he gave it to Cleach, who clears the zone and sending the puck into the Winnipeg end.
Huge kill. Nice block by Talbot, the Avalanche. Terrific job killing off the 5-on-3.
Peter, this is the first time this season that the Jets didn't score on a 5-on-3. They were 3 for 3 this season, scoring on 5-on-3 opportunities. This is the first time they weren't able to do it successfully.
And it's surprising how it works. This is the 28th in the league on the power play. They don't have a good power play, but 5-on-3, they're great.
25 seconds to go in the penalty on Gennin. Delay of game penalty. Shot from the point. Score! Maybe tipped in front. Jacob Trouba. Well, they love this young kid here in Winnipeg. Trouba with the shot. We'll see a replay if it got deflected in front. And it's 2-0 for Winnipeg. And that face to Patrick Roy there says it all for the Avalanche.
Well, if it's not tipped, it's still big bodies in front. Frolik, Mike, who comes over from the Chicago Blackhawks in a trade this summer. He was on their Stanley Cup winner last year. Mike, this is go-to time for the Avalanche. They need somebody right now to make a play. You're down 2-0 early in this game. And it doesn't look like the breaks are going your way early in this game. They need somebody to come up with that big play.
The 2 goals in the first 5.5 minutes of play. Winnipeg uses that second power play opportunity. We're able to score on the 5-on-3, but they do get a power play goal. And have a 2-0 lead. They're giving the goal to Michael Frolik. His 8th goal of the season, first on the power play. Trouba and Blitzum getting the assist. Byfuglien jumping up into the play. And pushed off the puck by Johnson. And it's wheeled out to center ice by Landeskog. Sends it over the line, gets the pass back, walks in, circles around, trying to stuff it on the near side, but Stewart got in the way. Mark Stewart made sure that didn't go in.
Nice play by Stewart. He just stood his ground.
Andrew Ladd has the puck. He's the captain. To Wheeler, his shot gets blocked in front of the net. And punched out to center ice. Landeskog will take it to the blue line. Cross ice pass. Back to the point. Gennin. And that gets blocked. We got a whistle. Play stops. Here in our first period of play. 2 goals for the Jets in the first 5.5 minutes of action. And the Jets up early in the first.
Well, it wasn't their timeout, but Patrick Roy took this TV timeout to talk to his team. Now watch some body language for Patrick Roy here. Stay together, guys. Come on, watch at the end. This is not a guy that's screaming at his hockey club, Mike, belittling them. This is a guy saying, hey, we're down by a couple. Come on, you stay together in these situations, and let's chip away. Get one maybe before this period is out. Just make it a 1-goal game, and we'll get our power play chances.
Now they're moving the faceoff into the Colorado zone. And there's going to be a penalty on the Avalanche. McKinnon's in the penalty box. Yeah, so the Avalanche are shorthanded again. Wait for the official call here. There's McKinnon in the penalty box.
Michael, I did not see Patrick Roy yelling at the referee.
Shot by Setaguchi, blocked, bouncing puck. Taken away by the Avs. Cleach across the ring. You said bench Minor.
Yep.
McKinnon serving the penalty. And power play number 3 for the Jets. And 1 for 2 tonight. Power play goal by Frolik on a tip. After the shot by Trouba. Frolik pass to the corner, back to the point for Trouba. Stamps it along the blue line. Trying to get himself a little bit of room. He walks in. His pass sailed across. Corralled by Scheifele. Back to Trouba. Down the slot. And the Avalanche defenseman Nick Holden able to slap that puck, but it went out of play.
Well, here's what the fans in Winnipeg are looking at. This is what the Winnipeg Jets are looking at. A club that just, Mike, it fits and starts. You look at home road. I mean, it's a good road record. They went out east a couple games ago, Mike, them 4-2 in 6 games and got themselves back to 500. But it's here at home that's cost them that real solid look at being in that playoff picture.
To the point for Enstrom. In the slot, shot, save. No, the rebound was right there, but it pinballed away. Byfuglien tried to get to that loose puck and just not able to get to it. Enstrom back to the puck in the Winnipeg zone. Under 12 minutes remaining in the first period. Pass to Olli Jokinen. Andrew Ladd to Jokinen, 35-year-old. Sends the puck around the boards. Byfuglien waiting. Gives to Enstrom. Moving in. His pass got slowed up. Pushed back towards the blue line. Byfuglien holds it in for Winnipeg. 25 seconds remaining in the penalty, being served by McKinnon. Little. Top of the circle for Ladd to Little. Below the circle pass for Jokinen. Looking to make a play. Centers it across. It's all the way out to center ice. Headman pass for Wheeler. Gives it to Jokinen. And Sarch separates him from the puck. Whipped around. Held in at the point by Byfuglien. McKinnon's out of the penalty box. So the Avalanche have killed the penalty. That shot glanced off a body and slapped out to center ice. Mark Stewart, Winnipeg defenseman, chips it back in.
Well, because of all of the power plays that Winnipeg has had early in this game, one, you don't get your good rotation going, but the shots are 11-1 right now for Winnipeg.
They lead it 2-0. Flipped and puck comes out to center ice.
Michael
will send it in.
On top of it all, Landeskog is, struggling to get to the bench for the Avs.
He just arrived at the bench as Varlamov makes the save. Parenteau plays the puck. Got it out to center. And Landeskog getting some attention from Matt Sokolowski, the head trainer of the Avalanche. Here's a chance for the Avs. In is Barry. He shoots, and Pavelec came way out to make the save. Shot by Stastny, and that is caught against the chest by Pavelec, the Winnipeg goaltender.
Now, Michael, as you were talking about the play going back the other way, I was watching Landeskog. He just goes in hard into the boards. And it would look like, Mike, his knees went in first. And let's not forget just what a big body Landeskog is. He's 6'2". Now he's well over 215 pounds. And he was flying into the end wall. He's just standing on the bench trying to regroup himself.
Tyson Barrie comes back for the puck. Makes the outlet pass for Mitchell into the neutral zone. And the pass picked off. Lifted from center ice by John Albert. Into the Colorado zone. Mitchell back for it. He gets hit along the boards. That frees up the puck. Trouba had pinched in, but McGinn fends him off. Sends the puck around the boards. Albert trying to center. He picks it off high in the slot. Albert centered it across. Had a couple of players going to the far post. Barrie couldn't clear. He gets another chance. And this time he's able to send it up the boards to center ice. Puck sent across ice. Brought in over the line by Peluso. He's held there by Holden. Hooks the puck behind the net. 9:15 to play in the first period. 2-0 for the Winnipeg Jets. Wheeler with the puck. He gets pushed by Holden. And it's picked up and carried through the neutral zone by McGinn, but hustling across, defenseman Toby Enstrom able to free up the puck, giving it back to Winnipeg. Bufflin makes a sharp pass out to center ice. Brought over the line, dumped wide of the net. And as it comes off the boards, it's covered at the post by Varlamov. Now the Jets came ready to play. They lead it 2-0 in the first. Well, let's take a look at what team is in the groove, brought to you by Groove Subaru and the Los Angeles Kings. Well, everybody was wondering when their goaltender Jonathan Quick went down, how were they going to be able to win some games? Hasn't been a problem.
They had great goaltending. The rookie Jones is a 4-0 for the Los Angeles Kings. But Mike, it's one of those examples of how tough it is in the Western Conference. The Avalanche right now in their stretch, Mike, of 19 games. We talked about at the start of the season, you know, how dominant the Western Conference is. Well, now the Avs are right in those games. And they're 10 games into that 19-game stretch, and they're 6-4. But it is just tougher to score on this side, the Western Conference.
McKinnon has the puck for the Avalanche. Plays it back to the point. Benoit slides it over to Sarch. Back to Benoit. Moving in. This pass to McKinnon. Let go. The bouncing puck along the end boards. Freed up. Carried to center ice by Ladd. He's got Wheeler with him to his right. Shoots the puck in. Took a hit from Sarch. Duchesne peels away with the puck. Dropped it off for O'Reilly. Going back to Duchesne. But back checking and doing a nice job. Andrew Ladd shoots the puck down to the Avalanche zone. Now less than 8 minutes to go in the period. Johnson's pass. Beginning. Up ice for Parenteau. And it's shot in. Pavlik. Drop it back behind the net. Nailed around the board. Stastny cut it off. There's Landeskog. Good to see him back on the ice for the Avs. After he looked like he got hurt on a play earlier when he slid into the boards. Stastny coming down the middle, and his shot misses wide. Touch back to Stastny by Johnson. Whipped across for Gennon. Broken up. Thornburg. Oh, there was Jokinen was streaking up the middle and hoping there was going to be a pass, but Setoguchi couldn't settle the puck down. Eric Johnson for the Avalanche. Picks up speed to get out into the neutral zone. Drives the puck in as it comes off the boards, covered by the goaltender Pavlik.
Well, the third-year captain, or third-year Colorado Avalanche, second-year captain of this hockey club, Mike. You talk about great to just see him back on the ice, because he went into that end wall hard. Much similar as far as how he went in to Jan Hejda. Unfortunately, Mike, for Hejda, it looks like he may be back Saturday, which is about 6 weeks sooner than I thought he was going to be back when he went in, because he went in just flying into the end wall. It's one of those things. One, it shows you how tough Hejda is.
Trouba with the puck. Long pass to center ice, right on the stick of Albert. Long shot, cleared away by Varlamov. Bortolo on it. Took a little bump from Peluso. Barry takes the puck for Colorado. 6:30 remaining in the first. 2-0 for the Jets. Scored a goal 24-second mark, and then at 5:25 on the power play. That one. Steal at center ice. Brought in by Peluso. Waits. Sends it in the slot. Chance. Save. Rebound. Batted around, and McGinn gets to it for the Avalanche. But again, Peter, we really see Winnipeg using those big bodies, as you point out, crash into the front of the net.
3 guys, but that, Mike, the Avs are down 2-0. A neutral zone turnover that leads to a 3-on-2. They got to control the puck better.
From behind the net, Benoit makes the pass. Sarch in the blue line, shoots it in wide. McGinn on the center, cut off behind the net by Scheifele. Sarch pinched in from the point. But Keaton Ellerby with the puck, sends it across for Mark Stewart. Pass out to center ice. Mitchell takes it for Colorado. His pass broken up. Ellerby takes the puck for Winnipeg. Threads a pass through. Scheifele sends it through the middle zone for Frolik. And he makes the give, the backhander towards the front of the net. Steered away by Varlamov on that try. 5 minutes remaining in the first. 2-0 Jets. Duchesne's pass for O'Reilly. Bounce back for Duchesne. Oh, there was a big collision. Score! Matt Duchesne, while the tension was happening out in the middle of the ice, McKinnon and Wheeler, they both went down injured when they were down there on the ice. And then meanwhile, Matt Duchesne flies in and scores the goal the Avalanche have been looking for, his 13th of the season.
Much needed goal, but you see two guys, Mike, that just weren't looking the other way. Both were looking at different parts of the ice. Look at the collision right here. They just, neither one of them is intending on hitting, and you see knee on knee and body on body. I don't have any clue how Duchesne scored because I was watching the collision, because that was one of those plays where any number of things could have happened. You see Matt Sokolowski now talking to his second straight Avalanche player coming off the ice with an injury, or at least banged up a little bit.
Well, Duchesne gets the goal, though. On a good move, and then the terrific shot to get his 13th of the season, the team leading 13th.
It looked like a great goal, Mike.
It was. Landeskog trying to get possession of the puck behind the net. A little help from Parenteau, but the Jets have got it. Backhanded out by Chris Thorburn. Holden's pass. Oh, that almost took a bad bounce, but Holden recovers. Makes a nice pass up ice for Stastny. Broken up by Klitzen. And sent to the corner, then behind the net. Landeskog for the Avalanche. Centering pass, intercepted by Setoguchi. He sends it off the boards, angling the puck to center. Starts to pound the puck back in.
Ever since Patrick Roy had that conversation, they killed off the penalty right after. Mike, the Avs have slowly started to push the puck the other way.
They now trail 2-1 after the Matt Duchesne goal. Shot by Scheifele goes high. Avalanche moves the puck to center. Sarch for Benoit. Chops the puck to center. Scheifele broke it up. Avalanche get the puck back. Cleach coming down the middle. Poke checked away. And one-handed back out to center ice by Frolik. Cleach dumps the puck to the corner. Talbot after it, along with Bordeleau. It's Talbot. He gives to Bordeleau. Back off the boards, and not arriving in time. Barry was coming across the ice off the bench. Just couldn't get there in time.
The Avalanche, both defensemen and forward, were changing on the play.
Sent in by Mitchell. And Stewart with a big hit on Talbot. And Mitchell has the puck. It's passed back towards McGinn at the point. Snaps it around. Trouba took a hip check from John Mitchell, the Avalanche. Talbot coming out of the corner, trying to center. It does skate, bounces free, back to the point. Barry keeps it in, gives to McGinn. Centers for Mitchell. One of the better shifts of this game for the Avalanche. Here's a chance for Holden in the slot for Talbot. It goes wide. But a good shift for Colorado. Bounce to center. Shot back in by Wright. Up ice for Duchesne. It's got the Avalanche going with that goal, giving them a little lift. Pass to the point for Gennon. He shoots and shot wide. Byfuglien for Winnipeg. Now less than 2 minutes to go in the period. Enstrom scoops it back behind the net. Byfuglien. Up the wall for Ladd, out to center ice. Blake Wheeler over the line. And the puck bounced to the corner around behind the net. Ladd scooped it up. He gives to Wheeler. Nice pass in front. And Varlamov just gave him nothing. Loose puck in front, and the Avalanche were able to make sure that Ladd could not get to that puck.
Boy, did Varlamov take away everything. Because, I mean, that was a big moment right there, and Varlamov comes up with a huge, not a save even.
Yep.
He just forced him wide, wide, wide until he was out of position.
Avalanche with the puck, Corey Sarch. Put it back into the far face-off circle. Benoit feeds it across for Sarge as we go to the last minute in our first period. Winnipeg leading the game 2-1. Stastny for Colorado. Works it free. Pass back to the point for Sarge. Winds and shoots. And that one tipped wide. The Avs starting to spend a little time now in the Winnipeg zone, although still being outshot by a wide margin, 14-4. At one point it was 11-1.
But it just feels like a different game right now.
Cleared to center ice by Winnipeg. Landeskog's pass intercepted. Frolik over the line. And offside Winnipeg. 16 seconds to go in the period.
Great passing by Winnipeg sets up this great chance in front. Look at Varlamov. Varlamov just pad down, nothing to shoot at. Tried to bank it in at the end of the play, but what a nice read and react by Varlamov.
Mitchell will take the face-off against Little. They've added a couple seconds to the clock. Now it's 18.8 seconds remaining in the period.
And Mike, just looking at the line for the Avalanche, Mitchell in the middle with McGinn and Talbot on the right side. And this is a line that Patrick Roy put back together tonight. He broke it up last game. He said, maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have gone with the set lines, because this line in particular had played so well.
Another thing that he said after the game, Peter, was, maybe I've been tinkering too much with the line. Maybe just try to find some lines and stay with them for a while.
Absolutely.
Well, Winnipeg came out flying. They get a goal in the first 30 seconds. Second goal in the power play in the first 5.5 minutes. But the Avalanche have started to force their way back into this one, and thanks to a Duchesne goal, it's only a 1-goal difference.
Yeah, you walk down and it's 1-0 basically. I mean, they got a couple goals, they got a power play goal, but you're down by a goal and a period that early you're going, whoa, what are we looking at the end of the first period? Well, you're looking at a 1-goal deficit.
It changed for the Avalanche, and Duchesne was his 13th goal of the season. Big difference for Colorado after the two early goals from Blake Wheeler and Michael Frolik. 2-1 Winnipeg after one. Next is the Toyota Intermission Report. Winnipeg leading the game 2-1. We get ready to begin the second period of play. They got up early, scored in the first 30 seconds of the game, and then added another on the power play at 5:25. So they were up 2-0. Looked like, oh boy, this could be one of those long nights for the Avalanche. But Patrick Roy settled things down, and from that point, it got better for the Avalanche.
He didn't call a timeout. It was a TV timeout. We were watching very closely Patrick Roy, how he was handling the whole thing. Here, you see what happened in that first period. Good defensive positioning, as Matt Duchesne said. Man down low, but it bounces off the defenseman's skate. Then a nice tip in front. You're down 2-0. And here's what Patrick Roy did. He brought the team together. Okay, guys, let's go. We're fine. And from that point on, the Avalanche certainly didn't dominate, but what they did was they kept coming back. Duchesne scores a huge goal for this Avalanche club. And then right at the end of the period, which could have been a back-breaking moment for the Avalanche, Varlamov comes up not with a save, but with a great block of anything that the Winnipeg player wanted to do in that play. So for the Avalanche, from that timeout on, the Avalanche, Mike, they started to get their game together. They're down by one, and I think this is really going to be an interesting second period, because there was stuff going on in that first period. McKinnon got knocked down in a mid-ice collision. Landeskog fell into the end boards. There was stuff all over the ice.
And we begin our second period of play for Winnipeg, and the Avalanche and the Winnipeg Jets. 20 minutes of play. Jets outshot the Avs 14-4 during the first period. Lead the game though 2-1. Stastny moving in. Comes into the corner with the puck. Handoff into the slot for Landeskog. Puck slides past him. Johnson with a chance. That is his teammate Landeskog in front of the net. And Byfuglien trying to clear, stolen away by the Avalanche. Now it's the Avs' turn, perhaps, to make some steals early. Winnipeg was intercepting a number of Avalanche passes. And the puck comes free for Devin Setoguchi. He'll lift it to center ice. Benoit sends it across. Sarch, the pass through the middle zone. That bounces for Setaguchi over the line. And a move by Ladd. Loses the puck. Kept in. Trouba, who had 7 shots in the last game for Winnipeg against St. Louis. Net has been moved. That's the reason we've stopped play here in our second period, with Winnipeg leading by a goal.
Well, for the Colorado Avalanche, they weren't even in the same conference as Winnipeg last year. Well, now they're in the same division with the realignment. And as we get deeper and deeper into this season, we look at the clubs that the Avalanche, Mike, are going to be matched up against. You got to know Chicago's going to be at top of the pack. They are just a phenomenal hockey club right now. They're just, it's 7 goals last night again. St. Louis is going to be good, so there's, the Avalanche want to find that 3rd spot, certainly, in the Western Conference.
In their division,
yes.
It'll guarantee you finish in the top 3, you're in the playoffs. Center ice. Ladd winds and shoots. The rebound bounces away from Varlamov. Pass it back to the point, but Trouba had scooted in a little bit, so it angles down the ice. Pavelec moves it up ice. Tipped across. The Avalanche get the puck back. Worked across for Holden. Ladd chasing him. Holden gets himself a little more room and shoots the puck back into the Winnipeg zone. McGinn backhands it behind the net for Talbot. Pass to the point. Buried. Lots of room. Sends it across for Holden. His shot gets blocked. There's nobody out near the points for Winnipeg. All the players were down right in front of the net.
They just crashed down like so many clubs, Mike. They just leave the point man open and put 5 bodies and block shots.
Scheifele hit by Mitchell. Lost the puck. Holden for the Avalanche. Lost the puck. Shot off the shoulder of Varlamov. And the puck comes straight. Mitchell has it for the Avalanche. Trying to maneuver his way around. And the puck is pushed out to center. And Talbot has it. He's going one-on-one coming down the slot. Backhand try. Gets blocked by Klitzum. Dropped back to the point. Shot by Johnson blocked. And he'll fire the puck across. Down ice for Talbot. He directs it in towards the goaltender, Pavelec, who drops the puck. Keaton Ellerby. Pass up ice for Wright. James Wright working his way behind the Avalanche net. Pass to the point. That shot hit his skate. Goes back across. Wright sends it towards the corner. Wright has the puck. Cut it out in front. He shoots off the side of the Avalanche net. Peluso trying to make a pass behind the net, but it hit the referee in the skate. Again for the Avs. Little flip, sends it up the boards. Peluso keeps it in play for the Jets. Peluso coming out of the corner. Takes the handoff to Albert. Back towards the point for Stewart. He can't control the puck. The Avalanche have got it. Backhanded in from center ice by Cleach. And Stewart will come back for the puck. Finds Peluso. Chipped out to center. Sent down the ice. Back into the Winnipeg zone. Stewart around the boards. Trouba makes the pass, and Peluso from the red line dumps the puck in. Landeskog for the Avalanche. Lifts the puck to center. Right now, not many scoring chances happening for either team, is it?
This looks like the second period of the Phoenix game, where they're just everything just bogs down through that neutral zone. Club's so defensively conscious.
Stastny gives to Parenteau. We do have a whistle. Puck, is it played with a high stick? Or do we have a penalty?
We got a penalty, Michael.
It's
we
a
have
penalty.
it. Yep.
And this is going against Winnipeg, so the Avalanche for the first time in this game will have a power play opportunity. Chris Thorburn for high sticking at 4:33.
Let's have another look at it, Michael. The puck comes around because it was actually Sarge's stick that seemed to come up and hit Benoit.
Winnipeg penalty to number 22, Chris Thorburn.
Avs on the power play. First time in this game.
Thorburn, 2 for high sticking at 4:33.
Last meeting against Winnipeg back in October, Avs were 0 for 1 on the power play. If the Avs score on this power play, a lucky winner will get tickets to an upcoming game with a chance to win. Register at afwonline.com/altitude.
Like, this is one of those little breaks inside of a game you got to take advantage of. You get a situation like this, and you can get that, you can match that power play goal. That's the difference in this game right now.
Colorado trails the game 2-1. Race back into the Avalanche zone for the puck. Gary Johnson will arrive. And still looking for their first shot of this period. They played 5.5 minutes. Cleared out by the Jets. Came into the game, ranked 10th in the league, killing penalties. They don't take a lot of penalties. They average under 10 minutes a game. Shot from center ice around the boards by the Avalanche. Works behind the net. And cleared out by the Jets. Well, the Avs just have not been able to get settled, set up in the Winnipeg zone on this power play.
Scoring power play, Mike, the same thing applies. Confidence. You have to have confidence with that puck. And right now they need that goal to give them some confidence.
Landeskog over to Stastny for the trailer. Parenteau missed. Back to the point for Holden. Slide to the cross for Benoit. Down the board, Stastny in the slot. Shot by Holden. Blocked. Slapped out by James Wright from Winnipeg. That'll do it for the power play. Thorburn comes out of the penalty box. Johnson's pass. Nice one for Talbot. But couldn't hold on to the puck. Back to center ice. Dropped for Jokinen. Picked off. McGinn works his way in. He shoots. Saved by Pavlik. Rebound chance by Mitchell. Still loose. And it comes free for the Jets. Setaguchi. To the red line. Over the line. Dumped into the corner. Setaguchi moves the puck along the end boards. Trouba. Tied up by Johnson. Well, this Winnipeg team used to playing one-goal games. They're tied for the NHL lead, 19 one-goal games this season. They haven't won a lot of them. They're 7-8-4, but they're used to tight games. Byfuglien's pass gets through. Shot ahead by Little. Varlamov works the puck around the boards. Played to the point. Byfuglien to Enstrom. Shot wide. Wheeler trying to punch that one in front. Had it blocked. Fights for the puck along the boards. Blake Wheeler for Winnipeg. Knifes back behind the net. Center shot. And Ladd was in a perfect spot between the circles, but he missed.
What a nice play by Wheeler all the way around.
Backhanded wide of the net by Frolik. Byfuglien gone into the corner for the puck. Tangled up with Gennin. Turned around the boards. Foot hit along the boards. McKinnon involved. Centering try, and then the chance by Frolik goes high. Clearing attempt by Duchesne. And it comes out in the center. Enstrom smacks the puck back in. Back to center ice. Ellerby reaches the red line, shoots the puck in. Scheifele knocked to the ground by Holden. Long pass through the middle zone. Landeskog chipped it off the boards for Duchesne. Gives it back to Landeskog. Got a man open in front. Parenteau, there it is, but it got past him and out the center. Benoit comes back for the puck for the Avalanche. 10:45 to play in the second period. Score has not changed since the start of the second period. Parenteau could not split through those three Winnipeg Jets. Stastny after it in the corner. Played back to the point and was slowed up, but Sarge holds it in. He shoots, and it was tipped wide. Benoit pinches in from the point. Sends it around. Sarge pinched in. Overskated the puck. Setaguchi backhands it to center ice for Wright. Pushed in. Landeskog tripped up by Jokinen. That'll be a penalty on Jokinen. Delay call coming up. Habs are going to get another power play chance on that trip by Olli Jokinen. We're going to take a break. We'll be back because of this trip. Habs will have a power play.
Well, thanks, Kyle. Well, Landeskog, Mike, in the penalty box, down 2-1, but at the end of as good a power play as far as the movement that they had as if the Avalanche have had in a while, Mike. Good puck movement. And one of the things I noticed in the puck, not the big slap shots from the point, wrist shots for the defenseman.
2 minutes for tripping. Top of the penalty, 12:07.
Now it's a power play chance for Winnipeg.
12:07.
Landeskog in the penalty box. Shot save made by Varlamov. Winnipeg 1 for 3 in the power play. Didn't score in the 5-on-3. They had a power play goal their last game, but previous to that they had gone 0 for 20 on the power play. Scheifele after the puck. But now have scored a power play goal in 2 consecutive games. McLeod going to send it around the boards. Had it blocked. Frolik pass in the corner for Byfuglien. Looking to make a play. Shoots it back to the point. Scheifele. Byfuglien. Oh, man. Can he shoot the puck? Wow. Oh, man. Back to the point. Sent across. One-timer by Enstrom. That got blocked by Holden. And Enstrom can't hold the puck in at the point. Scheifele gives to Enstrom. Down to 45 seconds remaining. That Landeskog penalty. A race for the puck. Little and Benoit. Little shoots it around for Jokinen to take in the corner. Cleared out by the Avalanche. Grant Klitzen carry the puck to center with 20 seconds remaining in the Landeskog penalty. Pass broken up. His stick was in the right spot. It's got Mitchell jumping up in the play. There's the pass. Couldn't connect. Mitchell, though, does get to the puck. There comes out to center. And that's going to use up the rest of the time. Nice job. Started with Cleach getting his stick in the way.
And Mike, good penalty kill for the Avalanche. Just that one bomb by Byfuglien. It was fun for us to watch, but, you know, it was from a ways out.
So Landeskog's out of the box. They have to kill that penalty. A chance down low. Blocked by Pavelec right at the post. Duchesne to McKinnon. Back to Duchesne. Flicked it behind him. Johnson sends it across for Sarge. Back to Johnson. One-timer save made by Pavelec. Bouncing puck. Duchesne shoots it off the side of the net. And smacked back behind. 5:20 to go in the period. Duchesne reverses. Center. Score! What a play by Duchesne to set up for the goal. Ryan O'Reilly got it upstairs to tie the game at 2. Great looking play for the Avalanche, and so the Avs with Duchesne and then O'Reilly with good work.
Yeah, and you look at the 2 goal scorers for the Avalanche. It's been a while for both Duchesne and now O'Reilly. But they come up big inside of this game. And Mike, we get back to the idea for the Avalanche. Now you're tied at 2. You were down 2-0 in the first 6 minutes of this hockey game, and you needed a spark. It was that spark, the conversation that Patrick Waugh had. Was it Duchesne's goal? Something for the Avalanche has gotten them going, and now they're even in this game.
Colorado goal.
Shane O'Reilly hook up again. First goal was Duchesne from O'Reilly and Gennon. And this goal, Duchesne and Sarge assist on the O'Reilly goal. His 10th of the season. Holden shot, tipped on net. Pavelec made the save. So the Avs have come back and tied this game up at 2. In the slot, Parenteau. Chance going wide, but the glove save made by Pavelec. Here in the second period, Ryan O'Reilly, 10th of the season, and it's 2-2. Time for Did You Know? Brought to you by Stevenson Automotive. Here's the question tonight. Joe Sakic holds the NHL record for most faceoffs taken in a single season. How many did he take? C1, 2,292. C2, 1,875. Or C3, 1,989. We were just talking about face-offs the last game.
Right, and I misunderstood. That's one of the reasons we got this question. I misunderstood your question. I thought you asked how many face-offs had a center iceman taken to this point of the season, not a full season. 600. There's 12 guys that have 600 face-offs already this season in the National Hockey League. Crosby 780, but your good face-off guys will have 1,500 plus face-offs over the course of the year.
What we were talking about was when you are at about 55%, you're getting another 10 per 100, right?
Yeah.
Winning 10, another extra 10. Sent it across, shot, and Pavlik came across, made the save, and then he bats the puck away. To the point for Barrie. Chip to center ice. The Avalanche will get to it first. O'Reilly moves it ahead for Barrie. McKinnon picks up the puck. The Avs on the power play. Olli Jokinen, a tripping penalty called at 9:56. Now Pavlik makes the glove save. The Avs trying to get something going on their second power play chance of the game.
Well, this is a nice pass by Duchene. This is a bang-bang play. This is the kind of play, Mike, that works in the National Hockey League. You cannot linger with the puck. You don't have time anymore to assess things. You have to make that pass, not now, but right now. And Duchene hit McKinnon perfectly in stride.
Benoit keeps the puck in. What a play down low. Backhand try, and Pavlik rob it. Landeskog on that backhand shot.
That's one of those ones for Landeskog. It's just tantalizing because it's coming over to you. Now watch, the puck bounces sort of on a weird hop off the glass and bodies to the Landeskog all by himself. But it just wouldn't sit down. And he's feeling guys coming at him. The goaltender's moving out, but the puck just won't lie down.
You know you don't have much time.
It's
Hear the crunching on the ice and the skates coming. To the point, Holman slides it across. Benoit. Wrist shot, blocked. Parenteau. He's got it for the Avs. Played back to the point for Benoit. 9 minutes left to go in the period. 52 seconds to go on this power play chance for the Avs. Second of the game. Benoit gives to Stastny. Parenteau, great pass, and then it's shot high. Holden has snuck in and came to the back door, but that chance went high. Parenteau. Pass in the slot for Landeskog. Poke checked away. Back to the point. Nice play by Benoit to hold it in and then get it down low. Played back for Parenteau. Things right on him. Back to Parenteau. Landeskog, Stastny in the slot for a hold, and he shoots high. Off the glass. Stastny's got it for the Avalanche. Back to the point. Nick Holden's had a couple of great chances or opportunities here on this power play that's about to end. Out of the box comes Jokinen. Trouba will carry the puck to center. Over the line. They give to Jokinen. He shoots. And the puck got tipped wide. There's going to be a penalty. And it's going to be on the Avalanche. It'll be Winnipeg's turn to go on the power play when we come back. It's 2-1 in favor of Winnipeg.
Well, Mike, the Avalanche have fought back into it, tied at 2 on the couple of goals by one Duchene, who had not scored in 7 games, O'Reilly, who had not scored in 8. And the Avalanche know that their top guys have got to score. And Mike, you can just feel the energy shift inside of the club when Duchene's goal, now O'Reilly's goal. Now the Avalanche have got Winnipeg back on their heels. Remember, they haven't won in 4 home games.
They've seen a 2-0 lead disappear. That shot whipped wide of the net by Mitchell. Holden back in the high slot for Barrie. Again, centers had a tip. Held in just inside the blue line by Tyson Barrie. 4:15 to go in the second period. Avalanche have come back with an O'Reilly goal at 14:47 to tie this up at 2. And shots are getting a little closer. The Avalanche have had 10 shots in this period. Winnipeg has had just 4. It's been a good, solid period for the Avalanche. Killed a penalty. Scored a tying goal. They're getting some shots.
And their power play, when they got it, looked good.
Sure did. Byfuglien carrying the puck in the Av zone. Had it tipped away from him and out of play. Stop by Cooney Lexus during the December to Remember sales event for exceptional offers on new Lexus all-wheel drive sedans and SUVs. Luxury has an address, Cooney Lexus of Greenwood Village and Colorado Springs.
Merry Christmas from the Salvation Army.
Patrick Roy has stayed exclusively with the lines he started the game with to this point.
Race for the puck. Shot by Ladd to the corner. Johnson got it back for Colorado. Lifted to center. That one will bounce right in the middle circle. Byfuglien comes across for the puck. Threads it up the middle. Steal by Johnson. His shot hit Enstrom. Wheeler backhands it up the slot again. The Avs prevent the puck from coming out of the zone. Shot by Johnson across. Gets it back. Behind the slot. Avs really moving the puck around. Then a steal. And up ice goes Andrew Ladd. MacKinnon comes back. And there's that speed working defensively for MacKinnon.
He just caught Ladd, which allowed Gennon to come up and strip the puck away.
Johnson sends the puck off the boards for Duchesne. Got a goal and an assist in this game. He shoots, and that's blocked. Pass back to the point for Sarch. His shot put a skate in front of the net. Chance by Landeskog. Save made. Rebound. And it bounces wide. Thorburn for Winnipeg. Pass at the middle. Tipped out to center ice. Jokinen with Thorburn. May have been tipped by Landeskog. Jokinen had it for a moment. Landeskog took it away for the Avalanche. Gives to Stastny. Pass across for Benoit. Benoit up ice for Landeskog. And his shot misses the net. One thing the coach for Winnipeg said this morning at the press conference, he does not want to get into a race with the Avalanche. He does not want to start skating because he knows his team would be in trouble against Colorado.
Well, the Avalanche are racing right now.
I know. They're dictating the play.
Absolutely. Winnipeg wanted it hard on the boards behind the net. The Avalanche want to get the skating lanes going, and they've had this in the second period.
Resulted in the game-tying goal by O'Reilly. Again to the red line. Dumped in. Byfuglien kicks the puck behind the net. Andrew Ladd's pass to center for Byfuglien. Dustin Byfuglien coming in wide. His shot blocked by Johnson, but Byfuglien still with the puck.
Last minute of play in the second period.
Johnson staying with him. Short pass to the point for Enstrom. Nowhere to shoot the puck. Sends it to the corner for Ladd. Down the boards for Wheeler. Back to the corner around behind the net for Little. Ryan Little. And off to Ladd. Pass up the middle. Picked off. O'Reilly streaks out through center. Slapped around. Duchesne cuts it off at the half boards. We're in the final 30 seconds of the period. Thorburn to center. Benoit put up the boards. Jokinen keeps it in. Wheeler up behind the slot. His pass, Duchesne picked it off. Intended for Jokinen. Long pass to center for MacKinnon. He busts in. He shoots the save. Rebound. Score! He got it with 1.5 seconds to go in the period. His second goal of the period for Matt Duchesne. The Avs have come back to take the lead.
Michael, there was less than 10 seconds to go when Duchesne got that puck in his own zone. The fastest two Avalanche players just exploded. Duchesne comes down, MacKinnon cuts in on net. Michael, that was so fast by those two guys. I guarantee you Winnipeg did not think that the Avalanche could get down into scoring position until it went Oh, right there going, oh my gosh. And Duchesne will pick up his second goal, third point of the night. But Michael, that was just flat speed by those two guys.
Colorado goal, his 14th of the season, scored by number 9, Matt Duchesne.
The Avalanche, what a period for Colorado. Duchesne scored in the first period, scores in the second. He assisted on the O'Reilly goal. Outstanding period for Matt Duchesne. Peter, you said the Avs needed somebody to step up, and tonight it's been Matt Duchesne.
Absolutely. Big game, big moment here when they're down by 2. Now they're up by 1. Matt Duchesne has been flying.
So we've got 40 minutes of hockey played, and the Avalanche with a terrific second period have taken the lead. It's 3-2 Colorado. Next is the Subaru Intermission Report. Colorado Avalanche hockey on Altitude is brought to you by Groove Subaru on Broadway or online at grooveauto.com. KeyBank, unlock your possibilities. Pepsi, live for now. And by the Ford Super Duty. Built stronger, built better, built Ford tough. Avalanche go to the third period with the lead, 3-2. After trailing 2-0, they have come back on the Winnipeg Jets, and just like the first time these two teams played in Denver, the Avs had to come back in the third period to win a game. They've done it again against the Jets. Now we still have another period to go.
But what is it about the Winnipeg Jets that brings out the best in the Avalanche? The only time all season in 9 tries the Avalanche have come back in the third period was against Winnipeg. But tonight, this goal by Duchesne may have been a real turning point for the Avalanche offensively. 2-1. And then the Avalanche in the second period were just simply the better hockey club. They were using their speed, passing, all their skill. And Michael, this one at the end, I can't even tell you how fast those two guys were going. That puck was in the Avalanche zone with about 9 seconds to go. It was behind the goaltender with 2 seconds to go. Michael, he just exploded through that neutral zone, and Duchesne and McKinnon combine on a huge goal for the Avs.
That sets up this third period. O'Reilly had the other goal in the second period. But the story's been Matt Duchesne. He's been part of all 3 goals, scoring twice, and then a nice pass to set up the O'Reilly goal. And he said he had that injury. When he came back from the injury, had some illness, wasn't feeling well, and then just now is starting to get back to how he started this season playing, Peter, and it is showing tonight.
And Michael, talking to Ryan O'Reilly, we were laughing off camera a little bit about the speed of the two guys he's playing with, McKinnon and Duchesne. But what's the number one thing that Ryan O'Reilly does well? He reads the play. He understands what's going on. So he is a perfect complement for that guy coming in from behind. One, he's good defensively and get back, and 2, he reads the play well and knows where to go when those guys break things open down low with speed.
Backhand try, got tipped wide. Wheeler into the corner for the puck. That's going to be interesting to see how Winnipeg reacts. They had a 2-0 lead. They came out first 5.5 minutes. They just looked great. Looked like they had something going. They outshot the Avs 14-4 in the first period. Complete exact reversal for the second period. The Avs out shooting the Jets 14-4. And how will the Jets react? This is a team that lost their last game to St. Louis. They've gone 4 in a row without winning on home ice. And they know this is, you look at this game for them, they go, this is a division opponent here. This is 2 points for a team that we're trying to catch. Absolutely. For the Avalanche, but now's the time to step on their throat.
And for the Avalanche, this is a game where Winnipeg, you're up by 2. And now, this crowd starts to turn the other way if that next goal goes towards the Avalanche. So Winnipeg, they desperately need somebody to step up in this game.
Shot by Frolik, misses. Mitchell bumps the puck to center. And the puck got trapped in a sweater, one of the players, and so they have stopped the play.
Well, Nathan McKinnon, 18-year-old, how good is he going to be player for the Colorado Avalanche? the speed, the skating. And Mike, the one thing about Nathan MacKinnon, that his skating ability isn't going to go away for a long, long time. Because his stride is just so pure. He is a pure hockey skater.
Again, the side of the net. And we thought that Matt Duchene was fast when he came into this league. He's actually found that he's worked hard to get even faster. There's a chance, a golden opportunity. Frolik has the puck. Off the boards, back to Klitzen. Tip in front by Scheifele. Sends the puck high. Cleared out by the Avalanche. And does have enough momentum for an icing call.
And just getting back to your point, now we see Duchene now in his fifth, it's amazing. Riley and Duchene in their fifth year with the Avalanche. Everything's improved. You know, so some things you get are going to get better. Strength, conditioning. He talked a lot about that. The same thing's going to happen for MacKinnon. He is going to get just that much better in every area, which has got to scare defensemen around the league. Some of the older guys will say, you know what, I'm retiring. I'm not facing that. That's just a little too quick for me.
And you mean he can get faster?
That's just it. He will.
Thorburn for Winnipeg. Moves the puck along the backboard. Comes free. Jokinen threw it across in the slot. Shot by... Oh, pinged off the post and then covered by Varlamov. First, Varlamov thought he had it covered. It came free. And then that rebound shot hit the post.
And Varlamov couldn't find it at one point. As the puck comes across, he's not sure where it is. He's looking around right there. It's in front of him. He goes to grab it. His own defenseman, Mike, pulled it away from him, and then it's chipped on net by the Winnipeg Jets.
Oh, so close to tying the game. It remains 3-2 in favor of the Avalanche. Pass to the point for Byfuglien. Shot across. Enstrom. Behind the net. Kodaguchi with a hit. The puck comes free. Jokinen turns and shoots. Blocked in front of the net. Holland head to Stastny. Byfuglien, the only defenseman back because the other defenseman had broken his stick. Holden shot, saved by Pavlik. Rebound comes across. Kodaguchi for Winnipeg. Then Parenteau steals away the puck. Fanned on a shot. And Thorburn sends the puck to center.
Mike, we're seeing that Nick Holden has tremendous offensive instincts. He's had about 4 real good break-in opportunities. Not standing back in the point, but actually moving into the play.
Centering pass gets blocked. If you're Nick Holden, you go, you know what? Ryan Wilson, Jan Hayda may play on Saturday, be ready to play. Duchene with a chance, that's blocked. You're Nick Holden, you're going, look, I got to do everything I can possibly do to stay in, not be the guy who comes out.
Because, I mean, numbers will tell you, Mike, there's 6 defensemen playing tonight. If 2 defensemen are put in the lineup, that means 2 of these guys won't be playing on Saturday.
You best to make a case to the coach. Look at MacKinnon flying in. And at the last moment, I think Klitzen just hooked him enough that he couldn't get a good shot. Back the other way. Benoit, good effort to clear that puck away from Scheifele, then turns and steals down low. Chance for Frolik. Centering pass, Bordeleau took it away. Skates to center. Once he reaches the red line, he's able to dump the puck in. Smashed around the boards. Bounced down the ice into the Colorado zone. Scheifele scooped it behind the net. Cleach ties up the puck, comes free for McLeod, and he backhands it into his bench, out of play.
Fans, please look at the section 329.
Well, MacKinnon just, again, that explosive speed through the neutral zone. Yeah, just gets his stick, sort of bangs the stick a little bit. But I'm loving this play by Nick Holden as he comes up right in the middle of your screen now, just disappears for a second. But that was a 3-on-3, Mike. That was a nothing play. And what Holden did was it gave Stastny tremendous out and had a great chance by reading what was in front of him. He saw 3 Jet players and 2 are behind him. Jump up.
And we saw earlier, Peter, none of the power play the Avs had.
Yep.
He was sneaking in.
Coming down low, ready.
Albert against Mitchell for the faceoff. And the puck is iced by the Avs. Jamie McGinn. Faceoff coming back in the Colorado zone. Well, why don't we take a look at what is on tap for the Avalanche, brought to you by Coors Light. Next up, Saturday night at home against the Minnesota Wild. Another division game, second of 5 in a row for the Avs. And we'll start our coverage here on Altitude at 6:30. Minnesota, the Avs had a couple of wins against Minnesota already this season.
A couple of 1-goal wins, and you know Minnesota.
One in overtime.
Yeah, Minnesota thought they deserved better in at least one of those games, so they'll be ready.
Albert's pass behind the net for Peluso. That comes free for Albert. Return back around the boards. Albert pass to the side. Peluso shot. That hit Varlamov. Bounces back towards the corner. And Barry with a hit on Albert. Got a reaction from the crowd as Talbot brings the puck through center ice. Taken back by Wright. Loses the puck. Sent back by the Avs into the Winnipeg zone. But that's hitting going on.
There's some good hard hockey going on right now, and that's the kind of game that Winnipeg wants to get, that involved in right now. Down low, hard hitting.
Smacked at by Wright. Did not get the puck out of the zone. Shot wide of the net by Parento. Skipped around to the far side. Peluso. Shoots the puck to center. Got it blocked by Stastny. Drills it back in. We're under 14 minutes remaining in the third. Thorburn tips the puck from center ice. We got something happened here. You're going to say it was icing?
Yeah, it was icing. The man tipped the puck. And it's sort of interesting to watch the combination of Johnson and Gannon. Johnson, if he plays with Hayda, as we expect he will once Hayda returns, will be that right side defenseman. He's playing the left side tonight with Gannon.
Jokinen swoops back for the puck. And Troupa sends the puck to center. Setaguchi. Up ice. Jokinen will chase it down. Got a man in front. Thorburn. And his pass got right past him. Jokinen on the center. Blocked. Turned around the boards. Shots are even at 20. Avalanche lead the game 3-2. Jokinen. Pass across. Shot. Oh, that one went high. Then chance by Ladd. Setaguchi. Pass behind the net for Andrew Ladd. The Jets captain. Plays the puck to the point. Byfuglien drills one wide. Search for the Avs. Sends it up and out. And Byfuglien comes back as the icing call goes against the Avs. If you're looking for a great car, check out the all-new Kias at ColoradoKiaDealers.com. There you'll find all kinds of great cars, full lineup of high-quality, stylish, and dependable vehicles at ColoradoKiaDealers.com. Little against Duchesne. Little just inside the line. The shot caught with the skate by Johnson. Byfuglien knocked it down. Puck comes out to center ice. Enstrom for Winnipeg. Over the line for Wheeler to Ladd. He shoots on target, and Varlamov able to cover the puck. We'll return in a moment in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Avalanche lead by a goal in the third. Let's answer the did you know question. Joe Sakic holds the NHL record for most face-offs taken in a single season. How many did he take?
Now, they've only been keeping these records since 2000, 2001. But, Michael, look at 2,292. He averaged almost 28 faceoffs a game that particular season. One of the reasons was it wasn't necessarily the best part of Forsberg's game, so Sakic was out there for every key draw. And you don't, of course, remember that was the year the Avs went to the Stanley Cup Finals and won it.
Mitchell to center ice. Backhanded in. Talbot and Enstrom in the corner. Just about 12 minutes remaining in the third period. The Avalanche up by a goal, leading 3-2. Wheeler tripped. There'll be a penalty. So Winnipeg will get a power play here in the third period.
Colorado 16, minor for tripping.
Let's have one more look at it. And for the Avalanche, Wheeler might pull down the, you know, you're looking at killing this power play. It gets you down right to the middle part of the third period, and then the pressure's on. So this is for Winnipeg right now. Again, it's not just being effective. They need to get some. They need to put this one in.
Jokinen shot. Blocked in front. For the second consecutive game against the Avalanche, Winnipeg has had 5 power play opportunities. They went 0 for 5 in October against the Avs tonight, and now they're 1 for 4, this being the 5th power play chance of the game. Leaks got the power play goal. Missed by Byfuglien at the point. Enstrom retrieves the puck. Dropped it off for Jokinen. Blocked at the line by McLeod. Byfuglien chips the puck in, but everybody's going to the bench for Winnipeg, so the Avs got some time. Mitchell can just tee it up, clobber the puck all the way down the ice.
Oh, had hit a little too high for John Mitchell on the glass. That goes over the glass even at that end. That's a penalty.
Going in by Scheifele. Nice move, and then his shot goes high. And then it caroms off the glass and out of play. Oh, what a chance for Scheifele. That was a pretty looking move to set up a scoring chance.
Well, Mike, 2011, 7th pick overall. You can see why that is. I mean, he looked like he was going wide the whole time, and all of a sudden he just turned it back in the middle. Just a great shot.
Blitzum rams the puck around the boards. The Avs zones, they need to work on the power play. Chance down low, blocked by Gennin. And the Avs had some players right in front of the net. That puck could not get through. 25 seconds left and Sarch penalty. Off for tripping, called at 8:02 to give to Winnipeg their 5th power play chance. Scheifele drops the puck in the corner. Smacked around for a leak. Met in the corner by Holden. Tip back to the point. Grant Blitzum. Scheifele in, shot. That's stopped in front and then scored by Wheeler. And that ties the game at 3.
Well, Wheeler matches Duchesne, his 2nd goal of this hockey game. Again, the Avalanche down low, lots of bodies. Just Wheeler, Mike.
He's a big body.
He's a big body in front, and he's able to poke that one home, and you know, evens this thing out. Well, we talked about Mike. There's exactly 10 minutes to go in this hockey game. There's 2 points up for grabs between 2 divisional clubs. One at home that hasn't won in 4 consecutive home games, and one for the Avalanche trying to get things turned around after a couple of losses.
The goal came with 2 seconds left on the power play.
This is number 55, Mark Scheifele. And number 24.
Ties the game at 3 as we look at our Kia scoring summary. Blake Wheeler, 9th goal of the season. 2nd tonight, Scheifele, Blitzum with the assist. Blitzum's 2nd assist of the game. Wheeler with his 3rd power play goal of the season. Pavlik will cover the puck. Wow, we got ourselves a little hockey game going down here.
The intensity has built to a
Really
wonderful hockey pitch.
3-3 in the 3rd. Time for the Timberland Hard Hits highlights.
This is, Mike, this is the kind of game that you like to see as far as how it's been played. Hasn't been a dirty game by any means, but there have been some big hits, some hard action at both ends of the ice. Winnipeg dominated the first. The Avalanche, we get a goal by Duchesne, but they dominate the second. And then in this 3rd period, Winnipeg has played a better game down low than they did in the second, and that's resulted in the 1 goal.
Interesting face-off formation for the Avs. They had Benoit was set up way over, hoping that draw would come to him. Shot by Benoit, and then a collision between Landeskog and Trouba. Then Parenteau hits Trouba. Centering pass, tipped behind the Winnipeg net. And up the wall. It's been interesting, each team trying to play their style. In the first period, it was Winnipeg style that led them to a 2-1 lead. Then the Avalanche got going. They were skating the second period, took the lead. But Winnipeg is starting to use their style here in the 3rd more.
Yeah, they're being big against the Avalanche here in the 3rd. The Avalanche not to counter with their strength.
In the corner, Duchesne tied up, allows Ladd to get to the puck. Pass in the middle, and Little just slapped it away in time to Setaguchi, and he'll shoot the puck into the Colorado zone. 8 minutes left in the 3rd period. Now we'll see a hero here in regulation. Pass up the middle. Ladd shoots it in. Wheeler waiting. He's got 2 goals in this game. Bounces off a hit of Johnson. Drops the puck for Ladd to the point. Byfuglien with a big drive. That's knocked down. It's loose. Backhand. Big save. Shot. That's blocked. Back to Byfuglien. He winds. Fakes. Trying to go around O'Reilly. What a move by O'Reilly. Oh, and no penalty. Ladd with the puck. He shoots. Oh! That one leaked wide. Shot. Another save by Varlamov. Oh my. What a sequence. What a shift. And that is iced by the Avalanche.
Well, the Avalanche.
Well, there's a lot to talk about here, Peter. I don't know what direction you want to go.
There's so many. That was a great shift for action.
It was.
To just be a hockey fan.
Yep.
But when you're watching this, there was a play. This is afterwards. This is after the play by Byfuglien. It looked like O'Reilly had been gone, Mike, for a 2-on-1, and Byfuglien, Mike, according to the Avalanche,
Should have been a penalty.
may have stuck one of those clodhoppers out.
Oh, there's some excitement. This building is rocking right now.
And well, it should be.
Yeah.
Both teams playing, I mean, a wonderful brand of hockey.
Yeah, been fun to watch here in the 3rd. Frolik wraparound. That's stopped by Varlamov. Well, Varlamov being tested here in the 3rd period.
Frolik, who has a tip-in power play goal. My good. This is, again, that's that power game that Winnipeg likes to use. Frolik, sort of one of those salary cap casualties of the Chicago Blackhawks. They didn't necessarily want to get rid of them, but to keep certain other players, they had to move some of the lower-end players.
Battle for the puck behind the net. Holden. Checked by Setaguchi. The give goes to Mitchell. The Avalanche centerman shoots the puck to center. Ellerby moves the puck around the boards. And Klitzum got a couple of assists in this game. Pushes it up ice for Thorburn. He'll catch up to the puck. Pushed it across into the corner for Jokinen. Drop back behind the net. Thorburn out in front. Shot. And that is... Well, it looked like the puck was still loose. The play was stopped, though. All of a sudden, Thorburn stepped out in front with a chance to score.
Well, Holden gets caught in a no-win situation because he go around quick and get the puck, and it just got caught in an in-between spot. And Thorborn, who, Mike, he's a big man, 6'3", 220. He just comes flying out front. You see Holden, Mike, he goes, whoops. And now he's got to just try and cut the man down in front.
That puck came free.
Oh, yeah.
The referee blew that one dead. And that was a free puck there. Cleared out. Played with a high stick.
And again, right, you look at the Avalanche right now, and we talked about it all year, and this is game 30. And for the Avalanche, and maybe one of the most interesting games they played to this point, as far as the ebbs and flows and the style and the other team's style and all of the things that have gone into it.
These two teams are now in the same division. They'll be seeing a lot of each other. Offside Winnipeg. Wheeler made one too many stick handle moves as he came across the line. He's had a big game tonight, a couple of goals, winning the game tire here in the third for Winnipeg.
Yep, it'd be interesting to see if my little stat holds up for the Avalanche last year and this year. When a player has scored 2 goals for the Avalanche, they are, Mike, 10-0-1. And Duchesne has a couple of goals tonight.
Peter, the Avs are also 17-0 when they had the lead after the second period this season. Oh, a crunching hit by Landeskog, who's going to get a penalty for that. He hit Mark Stewart. And the Winnipeg Jets have Landeskog surrounded. But he's going to go to the penalty box. This is going to put Winnipeg on the power play.
2 or 5? Which way is this going to go?
He's going to the penalty box, so I'm thinking it's a 2-minute penalty. We'll tell you more details when we come back.
Mike, it's 2 minutes, and here comes Landeskog into the play, and Thornton, probably Stewart, Mike, just, I mean, the numbers were there. Call is made. But, Michael, look at the week that Brendan Shanahan has had. Monday, James Neal, 5 games. Dion Phaneuf, 2 games on Tuesday. Wednesday, a doubleheader. Cohen and Panik, 2 games apiece. And maybe one of the most important decisions of the year, Sean Thornton. The hearing is tomorrow. Like, I've heard so many numbers thrown out there. It's unbelievable. I'm just sort of lost. And it could be up to 20 games because the league needs to and wants to show that they take care of these things seriously, that, Mike, it's not going to be a situation. They don't want the courts getting into these things. They don't want that at all. So it has to appear as if they're taking these kind of things extremely seriously, because how long Brooks Orpik is on the injured reserve? What happens if the kid misses the Olympics because of this? I mean, there are just stuff going on around that decision that are going to be huge.
All right, here's the scenario with that hit by Landeskog. He's in the penalty box for boarding. Called at 14-10, so this is a power play chance for Winnipeg, a team that had not been doing very well on the power play. They went through an 0-for-20 stretch until a couple of nights ago, which they scored against St. Louis, and they have had 2 power play goals in this game. So big penalty kill for the Avalanche, down to 1:15 remaining in that Landeskog penalty. Scheifele stick handles his way in and shoots the puck, winding it around. Frolik behind him for Klidson. Oh, he stick handled out of the zone. Offside Winnipeg.
Good work by the Avalanche, pounding the puck, keeping them to the outside. Right now we're down to 1:04 for the Avalanche to kill off this all-important power play.
Their last power play, they scored it with 2 seconds left in the man advantage. A flick by Sarge sends the puck to center. Byfuglien rams that one back in. And covered just in time by Varlamov, with Olli Jokinen hoping he was going to get to that puck.
Big draws all the time now. And Mike, they've got Big Byfuglien out there in the point, and you know that Winnipeg would love to set him up for that one-timer.
Byfuglien has 4 power play goals this season, most on the team. It's just a BB. Nobody back at the point. Jokinen played it back there. Byfuglien's got to retrieve. Skates back into zone with 30 seconds left in the Landeskog penalty. Steal at center ice. Mitchell has the puck. Flipped it over for Talbot to take. He gets checked in the corner. 3 Jet players there, but it comes to Mitchell. This has been an outstanding job of penalty killing here by the Avalanche. Johnson used up some of those precious seconds. 5 seconds left. Maybe one more rush if Winnipeg can hustle. Byfuglien's pass to center ice for Frolik. Landeskog's out of the box. Frolik going wide on the off wing. Handoff, shot, and no rebound. Varlamov kept that one to himself. So the Avs kill the penalty. Nice job of penalty killing.
Great. I mean, they did what they needed to do. You know, you look at the 2 power play goals for the Winnipeg Jets. One was just a great tip by Frolik. The other one was Wheeler just being big and strong and finding a rebound. But that one, they didn't allow any of that action in or around Varlamov.
Jets 2 for 6 on the power play in this game. Parenteau leads Stastny in. He shoots. It was Stastny who scored with 5.5 minutes to go in the third period against Winnipeg to win the game for the Avs. They came back in the third period. Parenteau to the point for Holden. Since DeBarry. Steal. And the Jets try to get some numbers up ice. Chipped in. Parenteau with 3 minutes left in the third. Skating through center, long shot. Flipped to the corner by Pavlik. Thrown back across by Parenteau. Comes to Johnson, his shot. Taken by Landeskog. Behind the net for Parenteau. Stripped of the puck by Toby Enstrom. Lead pass to center ice for Little. Down the wing for Wheeler. Looking for a little help. Has to put the puck into the corner. For Ladd. He shoots and hit the side of the net. Bounces free for the Avs. Erik Johnson. Up ice for McKinnon. He comes in. He cuts across. And Enstrom played it as well as he possibly could. Enstrom behind the net. Oh, handoff. McKinnon with a chance after a giveaway by Winnipeg. Byfuglien to the red line. Backhanded in.
Hey, Matt, right here, Matt.
Back to center ice. Setaguchi sends the puck in. Delay offside. 1:45 remaining. Mitchell pushed away from him by Stewart. Up the boards for Holden. Shot. Blocked. Back to the point. That's blocked by Setaguchi. Pass up ice for Setaguchi. Trying to chip it by Barry and get to the puck. He's got a man in front. Trying to cut to the front of the net, but that's blocked. Stewart shoots it high. Around the boards, 1:15 remaining in the third. 3-3 game. Trouba gives the puck to Byfuglien. Trouba, handoff, Scheifele. And into the Avs zone as we go to the final minute of the third period. Holden sends it across for Landeskog. He shoots. Got his own rebound. Goes in the corner. And Parenteau along the end boards. 40 seconds to go. Winnipeg comes away with the puck. Scheifele will drop the puck in the Avalanche zone. Johnson for the Avs. In the slot, O'Reilly's chance gets blocked. Stastny has got an opportunity in his shot. Caught Pavlik in the shoulder and then bounces out of play, leaving 19 seconds to go in the third period.
Well, both teams have had us on the edge of the seats the last 10 minutes of this game. After the power play goal that tied it at 3, there's been moments inside of this game that have been just McKinnon, and then at the other end, I mean, Wheeler, Ladd, and Little. Like, that's a good hockey line. That's a well-structured hockey line for Winnipeg. You look at Stastny. Like last game between these two clubs in Colorado, it was Duchesne who scored, Mike. Just a great effort right there. Winnipeg fought back and took an actual 2-1 lead into the third period. Ada scored, and then Paul Stastny won it for the Avalanche. And there will be a hero here tonight, and who's it going to be?
Well, the Avs do have a face-off here in the Winnipeg zone. 19 seconds left. Timeout has been used
by Winnipeg.
O'Reilly take the face-off. He's got McKinnon and Duchesne with him. Gannon and Johnson are back on defense. Small start, then a nice win by O'Reilly to the point. And the shot gets blocked. Ladd's pass to center for Jokinen. Cutting in, he shoots down the slot, and that one rolled wide. 5 seconds to go. Gannon ties up the puck in the corner, uses up the rest of the time. Each team will get at least 1 point. And for the Winnipeg Jets, a power play goal by Blake Wheeler at the midway point of the period helps this game go to overtime. That's where we're headed when we come back. This overtime being brought to you by Groove Subaru on Broadway or online at grooveauto.com. Here we go, overtime. The Avalanche this season are 3-0 in overtime games as Pavlik makes the first save of overtime, while the Jets are 1-1 in overtime.
Well, Nathan McKinnon just completely spun a Winnipeg Jet player around. The Jet player just did not know where he went. He was coming through the neutral zone, and he just made a move. And the player for Winnipeg, Mike, just looked around. Like, where did he go?
Jets have the puck. Pass to center for Jokinen. Gets in, trying to get by Benoit. Through to the front of the net. That's stopped by Varlamov, and he covers the puck for a faceoff.
Here's a play we're talking about, Michael. Watch. Comes up the ice. I mean, just there were two guys there, and all of a sudden there he's coming in on the defense, and the defense is going, wait a minute. You guys are supposed to handle that. Now I got to do this. Now I got to deal with this.
Johnson pushes the puck to center. Johnson comes down the middle and whips the puck around the boards. Gifted at the point, Tyson Barrie. Stastny gets the pass. Then across for Johnson. Landeskog's in front of the net. Puck comes behind. Trouba makes a pass for Scheifele. And the Jets are on the move. Scheifele coming down the wing. And the pass broken up by Johnson. Scheifele got it back. Pass to the point. Trouba shoots. Blocker save made by Varlamov. Johnson will take the puck.
We haven't seen much of this Scheifele as far as in person. Wow, he's got some moves, doesn't he? He's got some stuff going on.
Fun to watch. Parenteau. He shoots. Kick save by Pavlik. Parenteau in the corner. 3:30 to go in overtime. As have Parenteau, O'Reilly, Sarch, and Benoit. Pass for Ladd. Byfuglien was offside.
Well, the Avalanche just haven't been in that many overtimes this year. They're 3-0 in overtimes and 1-0 in shootouts. And for Patrick Roy Club, this may be the most important overtime they've got themselves into. Being down 2-0 and the other team's building and finding a way. They're not going to be happy that they were scored on in the third period, but they got it into overtime.
Pass for McKinnon. Duchesne and McKinnon. So the Avs got a little speed out here now with 4-on-4 hockey going on. And there's that speed of McKinnon. Byfuglien, long reach, able to poke check the puck away. Then McKinnon came right back and stole it. He shoots up high. Byfuglien, skate out in the center. Duchesne trying to stay with him. Pass comes to the near side for Jokinen. Got Byfuglien in front. Jokinen steps out in front in the slot. Big shot in. Look at Varlamov came out. He really quickly came out of the net to cut down the angle.
And if for Varlamov, you look out and you see the man's committed to the shot here. Engstrom is going to shoot on this play. He sees that and he just comes right out and takes everything he can away. And the Avalanche, because you saw that play, did a nice job of at least moving bodies so Varlamov could see the puck the whole way.
Johnson in the corner, a steal, shot by Wheeler. And skimmed off of Varlamov and goes wide. Again, couldn't clear the zone. Blitzen cutting across. One-timer by Trouba, bouncing puck. And it's still free. Hook to the corner. Johnson skates to center. Makes a pass for Landeskog. Blitzen ties him up. Wheeler coming down the far side. His pass. And as defenseman Nate Gennin did a nice job on Trouba, not allowing him to take that pass. But Byfuglien he's just like a big wall out there.
It's just bulldozers, guys.
Brian Little making a move. Cuts in front, he shoots, the save, the rebound is sitting right there. And the Avs come away with the puck. Give to Parenteau. Cross ice, O'Reilly. Big time save by Pavlik. Big save.
Benoit pulled everyone towards him, freed up O'Reilly on the right side.
Cross ice in front for O'Reilly and pinballed off his skate. Holden slides across Parenteau. Back to the point for Barry. Moving away, cutting across. Centers for O'Reilly. And it bounced away from him. Jokinen to center ice with Setoguchi. Jokinen cutting across. His pass stopped by Nick Holden. We're in the last minute of overtime. Put back behind the net. Barry. Heads up ice. Makes a pass for Mitchell. 45 seconds to go. Mitchell carries the puck in, but the Avs are offside.
Here's Brian Little, but that was just a strong move to the outside. Opens it up, and here the Avalanche again. The defenseman driving in just in the feet a little bit of O'Reilly. Couldn't quite kick it forward. But again, we speak of these 5 minutes, Mike. As far as 64 minutes plus of the game, there have been great stuff to talk about. Comebacks, both teams imposing their will and how they want to play the game at certain parts of it.
Called their 30-second timeout. Timeout Winnipeg.
So Winnipeg has used their timeout. Those shots, the Jets are out shooting the Avs 36-26. And we have 40 seconds to go in overtime.
That's a lot of shots the last period, and overtime. I got 18 for Winnipeg. So they have, Varley stood tall in the third period overtime. Just that one rebound goal, and Pavlik made a couple of key saves also.
Sure did. So after the timeout been used, Duchesne, McKinnon, Gennin and Johnson for the Avs. Scheifele, Wheeler, Enstrom, and Byfuglien for the Jets. They give to Wheeler. He's been their guy tonight. Shot tipped by Gennin out of play. 2 goals in the game for Blake Wheeler, including the game-tying one, and Duchesne also with 2 goals tonight.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if this game does get that far, who Patrick Roy goes with in the shootout. The last time it didn't include Duchesne because they had a contest to see who was going to be in the shootout, and Patrick Roy stuck with those guys.
There was was O'Reilly who got the goal in the shootout to win it for the Avalanche last time and only time the Avs have had a shootout game. The Jets, they've had 8 shootouts. 15 seconds away from a shootout. Wheeler winds and shoots and misses. Around the boards, Enstrom put it back behind the net. Rolls free. Stastny and Byfuglien. Byfuglien powered his way to the puck. Backhander. Oh! Missed by Scheifele right at the end of overtime.
That's the end of overtime.
Well, overtime didn't solve anything tonight. So, stay tuned. We're going to have the Groove Subaru Shootout with the teams tied at 3 after 65 minutes. Welcome to tonight's shootout, being brought to you by Groove Subaru. Second shootout contest of the year for the Avalanche. They beat Minnesota. Varlamov was in net for that one.
And Mike, this was an interesting conversation between Duchesne and Varlamov. This was a good 25-30 seconds that they sat and were talking about, I'm sure, the shootout, which would indicate possibly, it could be any number of things. These guys are very diverse interests. But last time it was Parento, McKinnon, and then O'Reilly. O'Reilly was the only one who scored for either club. Like, you just have to like your odds when Varlamov is in net.
He's the best. He's the best shootout goaltender in the NHL right now. Second best in NHL history. That would be Mark Denis, former Avalanche goaltender and Columbus Blue Jacket goaltender. But of all the goalies going right now, since he's been with the Avalanche, as far as I'll say it, he's the best.
I was going to say, if they were to ask us to pick a guy, we wouldn't have to get any farther than the Avalanche number 1. Well, Mike, both clubs have had stars in tonight's game. And for the Avalanche, when the score was 2-0, they needed somebody. And Duchesne proved to be that somebody with a couple of goals and an assist in this game. Wheeler gets a couple of goals for the Winnipeg Jets. And, Mike, it's going to be this way all season long. After tonight, there's 52 games remaining for the Colorado Avalanche. And we're going to be seeing big point after big point up for grabs. The Avalanche get 1. They move to 41 points. But there is that second point sitting out there for both of these clubs.
And for the Avs, try not to match their longest losing streak. Stop a 2-game losing streak and they get the win in the shootout. And for Winnipeg, they're trying to stop a 4-game slide at home.
They have one more home game on this homestand against Dallas. Well, Mike, we didn't mention him that much, Setoguchi, but he has been an Avalanche nemesis for all his years with San Jose especially, but then with Minnesota.
He will take the first shot, so home team coach gets to decide if he wants to go first or second. Winnipeg going first, Setoguchi. And kicked out. Boy, that's a quick flash of the leg by Varlamov, isn't it?
And the thing is, he doesn't just, it's not lying there and the guy hit it. It looks like he read the shot and then kicked the leg out. Now watch the right leg of Varlamov. I mean, how quick is that?
First shooter is Matt Duchesne. 2 goals tonight, looking for a shootout, and he gets it. He cut across and then put it right between the pillows. And he gets the shootout goal to give the Avs 1-0 lead in the shootout.
Now shooting for the Winnipeg Jets.
Now, it'll be fascinating to talk to Duchesne after the game and say, did you two guys talk about that move? Did that look to be something he had in his mind as he came into the zone?
Andrew Ladd trying to even it up for Winnipeg. Nope, that one goes high. And so the Avs can win the shootout.
Now shooting for the Colorado Avalanche.
Mike, look at this. Varlamov goes to the bench.
I know.
The goalie doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to get off the ice. Pavelec didn't leave the ice, but he comes right off the ice.
Well, he knows he can go to the locker room.
Yeah.
Parento scores here. Parento for the win. Got it! And the Avalanche win a shootout tonight. They're 2-0 in shootouts this season, and they've won the Groove Subaru Shootout. Our final score tonight, Colorado 4 and Winnipeg 3. The Avs are just money. Varlamov is money in the bank when it comes to the shootouts.
And you know it adds to the confidence of your shooters when you know that, that guy behind you is going to make the save. But, Mike, as you were talking, I was watching the Avalanche bench. When this one went in, that was about as big an explosion as I've seen this year. Down 2-0 in this building, not scoring goals, and they come back to win 4-3. Head home on a real high as a hockey club. Move all the way to 42 points in the standings.
Big win for the Avalanche indeed. They beat Winnipeg 4-3, and they've taken the first 2 games in this season series for their division opponent. Peter, let's say who the Coors Molson 3 stars of the game are.
Well, Matt, Nathan McKinnon, outstanding for the Avalanche. Mike, that's an all-around hockey game. 5 shots, 4 hits, big assist on Duchesne's goal. Blake Wheeler, outstanding for Winnipeg. But the stars tonight for the Avalanche, including the overtime game winner, Matt Duchene. 2 goals and assists in a 4-3 overtime win.
Final score tonight, once again in the shootout, Avs won it 4-3. Please join us again Saturday night. The Avs are back home. They'll be hosting the Minnesota Wild. Let's continue our coverage of the Avs. Let's go to the studio for the Auto Nation Toyota Locker Room Report.